All right, everyone. Welcome to our next PLE. This is WCW Greed. Let's start off. Opening segment. We have Ashley Flair and MJF out in the ring paying tribute to the long career of Ric Flair. Now, for this one, I miscalculated the time. I thought I had one more day with Rick still under contract before he retired from the business, but he retired today, like on this show, like before, I got to book it or whatever. So Ric Flair is just gone. That's unfortunately that's it. There's nothing else I can do about that. So we're just gonna pretend like he's in the back, boozing it up like Rick does in true Ric Flair fashion. So that's it. Ric Flair gone from the business. And unlike in real life, this is it. He's done. He's not coming back. I mean, I may be able to go into the not the editor because I tried to use the editor to bring him back for the one day only, but it wouldn't let me. It says, I can't bring people back who have left the business. I don't know. Maybe that's only because I tried doing it while I was booking the show. Maybe when I'm not booking a show, it'll let me, but I really won't need him for that anyway. So, yeah, Rick is just done with the business. He's not coming back. But here, average 5 minute angle. Like I said, they were both out there just hyping up the long storied career of Ric Flair. And they got the crowd heat at the end, hot and rising, so that's good. They did a 67 for the segment rating. I'm happy about that. Yeah, Angle got the crowd hotter, and it got the show off to a strong start, which I'm really happy about. All right, our first match. Joe Hendry comes out. Oh, wait, this is still the angle. This isn't even the match. So Joe Hendry comes out to the ring and he stated, last week I said I was going to do an open challenge and I'm here. Let whoever thinks they can step up to the challenge come on out and accept it. And then who comes out? Oh, see, he did great. He did great by himself. But the second part of our angle was poor, and I'm going to blame that on Masters. And who is the one who accepted? Chris Masters comes out and he says, I know something about open challenges myself, so I'm going to step up tonight and I'll face you in the match. The crowd heat at the end was hot. That's good. Segment rating was a 66. Yeah, see the first part of that angle with just Joe Hendry, he got an 83. When Masters came out to answer the challenge, it was a 47. So, let's see, Joe Hendry. Oh, Joe Hendry had an angle idea, and it worked wonders for this. It was a success. Chris Masters needs a script. He didn't do well on his own. Okay, so that'll work. I mean, that won't work, but you know what I mean. As good as we could do, I guess. Let me just. What is this dirt sheet stuff? Oh, okay. That just tells me what to do. Okay, or not what to do, but what happened. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to the actual match itself. Joe Hendry versus Chris Masters. Had a decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. Joe Hendry got the win over Masters. Not surprised there. I don't remember if I booked him to win or if I just left that up to the road agents, but either way, it was the right call. The crowd was still hot at the end, surprising considering overall the segment only did a 50. The crowd was a 38, and the wrestling was a 42. So yeah, see, in-ring performance for Hendry was a 54, and Chris Masters only had a 29. All right, I really wasn't expecting much from Chris Masters. I was expecting a little bit more than this, but I mean, I wasn't expecting him to be a megastar or anything. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna do much with Masters in the future. He might just be a. I don't even know if he'll be a good mid-level guy. He might just be a lower card guy. And that's all right. We need everybody, so that's okay. Let's move on. Here we are. Backstage, we have another angle. And it's Sting. Sting again is walking around, talking about looking for that supposed evil that threatens WCW. And who should show up but the one who's been antagonizing him as of the last, I think, 1, maybe 2 weeks, Mordecai. And he is with none other than the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. And all three of them continue or go on to put a beat down on Sting, and they leave him beat down in the back. And I meant to do this earlier to have him in a storyline earlier, but I just started it here at Greed, and this kicks off the Savior of WCW storyline. So Sting, playing the part of our savior here to keep WCW safe from all evils, and he gets put down by Mordecai and the Righteous. Sting on his own, 51, along with Mordecai and the Righteous, that did a 42. Not the best, but again, I'm okay with that right now. We're still building things, so that's fine. Crowd heat at the end was hot. The segment rating did a 45. It's not it's so. That's all right. Sheamus and Moose up next. Decent match. Sheamus picking up the win, so that's a one win each for each man. Moose picking up the win last week. Tonight at the PLE, Sheamus picks up the win. Another banger of a match. Decent match, actually, it says here. Oh, with the brogue kick. Crowd heat at the end was still hot, so that's good. Crowd rating 54. Our wrestling rating was a 55. Overall segment was a 47. The crowd didn't care for the overbooked nature of the match. They're just going to have to deal with it. But this match also got the crowd buzzing, so that's good. I'm really happy with that. Sheamus, once again, involved in another good banger of a match, as he always does. Banger after banger after banger. You go, Sheamus. Sheamus has a bright future here in WCW. Tony Storm versus Natalia. They've been feuding as of lately. Tony Storm feeling Natalia is just a Nepo baby, just here coasting off of her name, especially here in WCW. And, Natalia feeling, like that's not true at all. Like she's put in the work over the years and she deserves whatever she gets. And they had a decent match. Natalia picking up the win here over Storm after a German suplex. The crowd was hot. Wrestling was a 56. Crowd was a 49. And our segment got a 57. Let's see. Okay, nice. Nice. The storyline between Tony Storm and Natalia gained some heat, so that's good to see. Both of them had a good in-ring performance. Storm with the 57, Natty with the 55. And yeah, see, I'm glad that worked out because they got great chemistry in the ring together. I like that. Who knows? Maybe sometime down the line after this storyline plays out, maybe I'll put them in a tag team together. But I'm not really too sure because I don't have any women's tag team titles, and as of now, I don't have any plans to introduce any. Maybe later on down the line, we may introduce some women's mid card titles, but for right now, I just don't see a women's tag team division. There's not a lot. I'm not going to fall into the same traps of in real life WWE and just hot potato it and with nothing, just throwing together teams. But I'm glad to see that they have good chemistry together. I'm really happy about that. Definitely need more people like that. AJ Mendez is out. She's once again putting down Charlotte Flair. And she says, tonight is the night. Charlotte Flair's been ducking her and doing everything she can to stay on top, but she's not going to take it easy on her. She said, your daddy retired, and I'm going to retire you next. So the crowd heat at the end was hot. She got a 67 for that segment rating. Really happy with AJ Mendez. Here we are. They have a match finally. AJ versus Ashley. Good heat and decent wrestling from the two, so I like that. And AJ picks up the win with sliced bread number 2. And new WCW Women's Champion AJ Mendez And yeah, look at that. The crowd heat at the end of this was white hot. Wrestling was a 56. The crowd was a 60. Overall segment rating of a 64. And this advances our storyline for the women's title. And this match got the crowd hotter. So, really happy with the work that these two put in. Now, when I did book this match, it did tell me Ashley Flair was not pleased with the booking of this match. She didn't like the outcome, which I didn't think she would, since she's dropping the title here at our PLE. But you know what? She's just gonna have to deal with it. I'll do something for her to make it up to her. Maybe I'll give her a vacation or something. But there we are. New WCW Women's Champion, AJ Mendez. Really pleased about that. Next up, we have the three tag teams that have been, battling it out lately. FTR and Featured Attraction in a backstage angle with, again, the Wrecking Crew. Keith Lee and JTG kind of just back there, just, stuck in the middle between the two. Part one of this angle, it was Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, FTR, cutting promo on Featured Attraction, saying, they're tired of these guys and their arrogant ways. Said once upon a time that they were good, but they've lost their way since then, and they're here to take the tag team titles off of them. After that, haven't heard enough of this. Featured Attraction, Christian Cage and Adam Copeland run in and attack FTR, just putting a beatdown on them before their match tonight. Wrecking Crew in part 3 has seen enough and they came through to break things up. And that left with the, like I said, Wrecking Crew stuck in the middle between FTR and Featured Attraction. The crowd heat at the end was very hot. They got a 62 for a rating. JTG underperformed. Hopefully he picks that up. He hasn't been doing so well lately, but maybe he's still working through some ring rust. So hopefully he picks that up. Let's get to the match. Maybe. There we are. So, decent match. FTR picks up the win tonight over Featured Attraction and Wrecking Crew, and Cash Wheeler pinned the weakling of the bunch, JTG, after the big rig. And new WCW World Tag Team Champions, FTR. Yeah, see, JTG was the weak link. He was struggling to keep up, but like I said, hopefully he's just working off some ring rust. He'll pick it up. He's certainly got a good partner there in Keith Lee. Crowd heat at the end was very hot, so I'm still happy about that. 55 for the wrestling rating, 51 for the crowd rating, and overall segment rating was a 63. All of the, except for JTG, I was going to say all of these men did pretty good for their in-ring performance. Of course, JTG being the weak link, of course, as it keeps being mentioned. Keith Lee seemed off his game. Oh, too bad. Too bad for him. Usually he's pretty good. Yeah, everyone was doing well here. I like it. I like it very much. Happy with the way things go. Yeah, two new champions tonight. We got the new women's champion, AJ Mendez, and we got the new tag team champs, FTR. So congratulations to them. Let's move on. MJF and AJ Styles for the World Championship. And this bout had great heat, good wrestling. MJF picking up the win here by submission with the salt of the earth after blatant cheating. Blatant cheating. We're just gonna go. What could that have been? A low blow, something that helped him in the submission. But MJF picking up the ways of Ric Flair and kind of a little tribute to Flair there on the day that he retired. And new WCW World Heavyweight title. And you know what? I just realized I forgot to book Samoa Joe for a US title match, so he'll get that on the next edition of Nitro. That is an unfortunate oversight. Unless I just clicked the next segment button a little too fast and we skip past him, but I don't think so. But I'll make sure he gets his title shot against Austin Theory. You know, we certainly know that he's been trying his hardest to get his hands on Austin Theory, and Austin Theory has been finding any way possible to escape that and weasel his way out of that. So we'll make up to Samoa Joe for that. Crowd heat at the end was very hot. Wrestling was a 66. Crowd was a 67. And overall, the segment rating was a 73. And that's pretty good considering MJF seemed off his game. So, wow. New champions all around, except for, Austin Theory, who once again managed to keep hold of his title. This time that was my fault, but like I said, we'll have to do something about that. Let's finish the show here. Let's see. Did I manage to skip past it? No, yeah, I just forgot to book it when I was booking the PLE. That is all on me. So sorry to Samoa Joe. Let's see who. Yeah, no, yeah, I forgot to book it. But okay. The show increased our popularity in 41 regions. Very happy about that. I don't know where that is. I've never heard of the Exploria Stadium, but hey, we had 21,708 people show up, so I'm really happy about that. Overall rating for this PLE was a 69. Let's go ahead and finish up. Yeah, let's address the locker room. Yeah, we're gonna make it up to Samoa Joe here. Samoa Joe? No? Huh. I wonder what happened to Samoa Joe. Oh, that's alright. Sheamus, he deserves some praise. Great performance. I don't think this will help Ashley any, but we'll praise her too. She's still going to be mad, but that's alright. And who else deserves some? Let's try to help JTG out. Maybe we'll give him some encouragement. How about that? Sheamus was pleased. Ashley Fair seemed pleased. She's not, though. I know she's still highly pissed. And JTG seemed pleased. Alright, so hopefully that gives him a little pick me up here. We don't really care about the financials. No, popularity recap, no thanks. Let's do a media scrum. Yeah, let's go with that. All right. Britt Baker. Yeah, she's part of the roster. She's kind of been working out through I think she's got an injury right now, so I haven't really been using her. But her and Santana Garrett did have a bit of an argument. They almost got into a fight, but not really. So I don't see why it says they got into a fight because they didn't. They were held back. Uh, and what's his? I know I removed Jim from that role of the head of talent relation, and I put in William Regal. William Regal handled it. So let's see. Have you lost control? I was not control. I have not lost control of the locker room. Yeah, it wasn't anything serious. Poorly with the locker room, but it wasn't anything serious. Whatever. All right. Sources backstage have described morale in WCW as being poor. That is false. As the head booker, do you feel responsible for this? Yeah. I mean, that's completely false, but no. Let's see. I'm just going to say I will sort it out. Yeah, positive for the locker room. Good. All right, FTR won the WCW World Tag Team titles at tonight's show. Is a long reign on the cards? Let's see what are our options. We're going to get behind them with a big push. I'm not committing to anything. Let's see how their reign develops. They deserve the opportunity to get a run as champions. I have a lot of faith in them. I have given them an opportunity. Let's see how they do. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. Dax Harwood and Adam Scher. Adam Scher, he's another one I got on the roster. Haven't done anything with him yet. I believe he's also on injury. They're said to be at odds with each other. Is this a problem in the making? Um, it's a non-issue. They'll work it out. MJF won the WCW World Heavyweight title tonight. Does this mean you'll be getting behind him strongly over the coming weeks and months? All right, so we're faced with another one. Let's see. I'm gonna say I've given him an opportunity. Let's see how he does. Let's give it. Okay. Adam Scher didn't appear on WCW Greed and has been public about his disappointment. Let's see. He should be making public comment. It's unprofessional. If he wants to get back in the spotlight, he needs to check his attitude. Hopefully, he will take it as motivation to work a little harder. No, it was just to give him a break because he's got that injury he's working through. All right, and with that, the media scrum has been completed. Let's go on, and we'll see you in a bit when we do our usual of checking the mail and seeing what kind of news headlines we got going on. On to the mail. All right, that was it. It was just nothing that interesting in the mail either. We have our viewership figures, which was good. I'm really happy with the way this PLE turned out. Uh, Again, nothing else is really going on here. So thank you everyone for tuning in and checking out WCW Greed. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time. And if you like this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you.